week's episode is brought to you by Support the Mountains Herbal Parasite Cleanse. This formula targets the small and large intestinal tracts and larvae, the most broad-spectrum formula available today. 100% organic, formulated by Dr. Mikio Sankey, author of the Esoteric Acupuncture series. For 10% off your first bottle, visit shopyogahub.com and use the coupon code CLEANSE at checkout. Hello and welcome to YHTV's Flowing into Awareness with visionary and master intuitive Anatara. I'm Christina Suzuma, your host for this program. Today, the topic is Giving When You Go, a personal story on dying. And with us is the beautiful Anatara.
Good day, Christina.
Hello, Anatara.
I am feeling especially enlivened these couple weeks because of an amazing passing, an amazing dying that a friend of mine gave to all of the people that love and care about her. And I really wanted to share the idea that just as we are so profoundly excited about birth, we may be just as profoundly excited about death. And that when a baby is born, we take that tiny little child and we see its whole life ahead of it. And we think of all of the beautiful things that it might become and all the incredible experiences that it might have. And generally, when someone dies, we think of all the loss. We think of the parts of ourself that person, only that person knew. We think about the fun times and the exciting times and what we've shared, and we feel that there's going to be an absence of that. And I know that is the way we usually respond to death. And I also know that in passing, in taking oneself out of this life and transitioning into that beautiful place of energy and love and bright light that exists after life, we can give to the people that we are leaving behind, seemingly, only leaving behind in the physical, but not leaving behind in other energetic ways. But we can give to all of those people a sense of the brightness that we felt in life about them and about ourselves, and a sense of it's almost the rapture, the excitement, the beauty of where it is that we're actually going to. So I've had the experience of a very close friend of mine dying. She became a quadriplegic when she was 50, fell off her bicycle, became a quadriplegic, and from that point on, required a lot of care from professionals such as myself in caregiving, and from friends and community and family. And what she showed all of us in that beautiful sparkle that she had in her eyes and in the way that she looked at the world, even from her, what many people call stage of handicappedness, she was able to show us that life is full and life is beautiful, and that the sunlight is precious, and every flower that grows is worth observing and looking at. And she, because of her inability to move, because we had to be her arms and her legs and her body in so many ways, she gave us this profound look at what real vulnerability is. What does it mean when everything that one requires physically comes through other people? What does it mean when someone who is unable to move themselves needs to ask for or expect everything that they need to stay alive from somebody else or from a group of somebody else's? My friend taught me and showed me every single day how it is possible to be afraid and to be in pain, and at the same time to know and to believe that the universe, through those around you, is going to give to you everything that you require from and for survival. So as I watched her leave, as I watched her die, as I watched her take herself out of her physical body, at one point the night before she died, she opened her eyes and she said to everyone in the room, I'm actually doing this. I am really doing this. I'm dying. And she giggled. And she knew that she was in the next phase and in the next stage of a very profound human experience. And that it was so well integrated with the spirit side of existence that even though she had never had any question about that, she had even less question about it. We spoke, I think, in the last episode about those of us who are afraid of death because we think that there's nothing there, and that those of us who are in some ways apprehensive about the next stage in life because we don't know what it is and maybe it's scary. And wouldn't it be amazing if, like my friend, we could just let it happen without fear, being held in the arms of friends, listening to music as it's played around us, listening to the sound of children running in and out of the room, knowing that in another room of your home, there are people feasting and crying and missing you already, and also supporting you in this fantastic, fantastic journey that you are taking and are about to take the final step of. Imagine that. Imagine what that feels like. Imagine that each of us can be as powerfully motivated and feel as powerfully safe and in a state of absolute trust as my friend did. Death, what is death? We think we don't want it. We tend to say that's something that will happen to us someday, but maybe I don't want to think about it right now. we tend to think, oh, I don't know about that. What's really going to happen? I just want to encourage everyone to realize that just as birth, it's something that's going to happen for all of us. We may have an idea of when it's going to come. We may have some control over it at the time, and we may not have any of those things. It may be sudden, it may be unknown, it may be scary when it comes down around us and we take the final steps into it. And how phenomenal is life when we aren't afraid of death, when we aren't afraid that somebody could hurt us, when we aren't afraid that something can happen to us that will make death happen. What if death is amazing? What if death is exactly part of what we're here to experience? What if? What does that mean?
What if and? Yes, that's a lovely story. I wish I could have met her. She sounds like such an amazing spirit, to be a quadriplegic in her 50s and still continue on and still bring joy to everyone. What a lovely, lovely story, Anatara. Thank you so much. And I think it is through these individuals that are such special beings that don't hold the anger and everything, but show who they are while in life. And that is a beautiful
whatever
thing.
Life is.
Exactly. Whatever life is and whatever life hands us, and to still forge forward and not hold the anger, but to actually bring joy to others and awareness.
Oh, the awareness is the most powerful thing that she shared with all of us. The awareness that we can be aware of all those little bits and pieces, the things that really make us happy, the things that don't, but just to be aware that, maybe life isn't always and only about being able to move and being able to do.
Yes.
Maybe life is also about the being that happens, even when it's force-fed to you. When I think about her, she was active. She danced all the time before her accident. She was alive. She had grace in every bit of movement that she expressed, grace in her heart, grace in her physical body. And then all of a sudden, she couldn't move. But she moved in so many other ways.
Wow, magnificent. Well, blessings to her beautiful spirit. And may she continue to create awareness in our lives.
Exactly.
Right.
And she does. And she is for me. I mean, when I started speaking, I was talking about how joyful I was
Yes.
at this experience that I've just had of someone dying. And the joy comes from my knowing how free she feels. My experiencing at the moment of her death that she all of a sudden knew that she was free again. That her spirit was free. She wasn't just in her body anymore. Not that she ever really was just in her body, even in her own countenance, but that she was free. And the joy that she passed on to all of the rest of us, knowing that she was going, it was miraculous. It was wonderful.
Oh, beautiful moment. Thank you so much, Anatara, for sharing this with us. And yes, it sounds like she touched many lives. Wonderful. And of course, we would like to thank each and every one of you for joining us in this new platform of education and information. We're grateful for your continuous support, and we look forward to hearing your feedback on how we can serve you better. You can connect with Anatara by following her on Twitter @Anatara and through Facebook, Master Intuitive, and of course, through her own website, anatara.ca. We would love to hear from you. Please share your questions or comments simply by scrolling down on your screen and entering it into the comment box. Or if you're listening to this on a podcast or a device, give us a call at 818-LETS-TALK, 818-LETS-TALK. Until next time, namaste.
I think that a lot of people get hurt, spraining muscles or tearing muscles or bruising muscles, and not always sure what to do. And most of the time, people don't do it as well as they can. So I always think that by having an understanding of some of these systems, give you more insights in how to prevent problems, prepare yourself to be in the best shape, muscular-wise,